Are brown people more privileged than black people? So brown privilege is the alleged social-political privilege afforded to brown people on account of their not being black or sometimes indigenous. And that basically means that because they're not black or indigenous, they are viewed more favorable in the eyes of palm-coloreds. Allegedly, that is. As a concept, it is the product of critical race theory and functions very similarly to other specific forms of privilege, most like palm color privilege. And what that means is brown people at this point are more privileged than black people, and this privilege in a way likens itself to the palm color or white privilege that white people uphold. Now, is it because of this privilege that brown people are revealing their biases towards black people? As you're gonna see in today's video. But if you knew anything about this discussion, you'll leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell us what you think about the discourse that you're about to watch.
I'm gonna keep it real with the black community. A lot of brown uncles don't like you.
I think by now we live in a world where black people know that anti-blackness exists in all cultures globally, and this is not revolutionary. I'm gonna talk about an instance. My half-brother got married with a Anglo-Indian. The story has relevance because I first-hand witnessed anti-blackness from the now ex-wife, shocker, they got divorced, family when we first met them. The first thing they said to us when we first found out that my half-brother was dating, their daughter, was usually, our daughter would never go for these type of people. So at first they were not accepting, which is pretty much what they said. And then they came around, they're like, I guess we can make it happen, because obviously they're Anglo-Indian. So culturally they still practice their culture, but they've adapted to the westernized way of thinking, of allowing other people from different cultures and ethnicities getting involved in their family. And obviously when I heard this, I was so confused, and I was quite shocked when I heard this come out of their mouths, because I'm like, why is there such a big disdain for people of African ancestry and anti-blackness of not wanting to date another person because they are black? I can understand culturally, but if you're just going to base it on their skin tone and race, that is just plain outrage. But hey, I think conversations like these are important, but never do I see a lot of people address anti-blackness, specifically from a lot of South Asian creators, which I would love to see. Maybe I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, but then again, it's nothing shocking. It's something that a lot of us...
Real with the black community, a lot of brown uncles don't like you. Sit on the table.
The reason why so many brown people don't like black people is because of internalized racism and self-hate. Let me explain. First off, a lot of brown people, not all of them, are whitewashed. They literally allow this white superior society to tell them, oh, black people are awful, stay away from them, they're not good for you, this and that and the third. Yet, most brown people are closer to being black than them being white. And what's so ironic is that I've seen brown people who will stand with white patriarchy versus taking it down because they believe they benefit off of it. And it's sad because at the end of the day, the patriarchy system, especially the white one, fuck up your too. Like, let's not get it twisted. You acting like you benefit off of that more than anybody else, but you don't. You literally suffering as well as we speak. So I never understood the whole, oh, I don't like black people when it comes to brown people, because it's just like, it makes no sense to me. You're more closer to being black than you being white. So it's just a dumb argument to me. And honestly speaking, if they were to realize that, you know what, we need to stand with black people in order to basically be solidified and be solid in society, they would get through so much problems in their life. I said what I said.
I'm gonna keep it real with the black community. A lot of brown uncles don't like you. Sit on the tables, they talk.
No shit, Sherlock. But let me tell you a secret, Cody. The feeling is mutual. So Rama Hamathan thought he was breaking some news to the man them. Fam, we've been doing that growing up. Our parents taught us, yo, these people don't like you, you know what I mean? But obviously we have to go in society and act like everything's all good. But fam, we've been knowing y'all didn't like us, and the feeling is mutual. It's no big deal, fam. We're a thick-skinned people, fam. Even in school growing up, I realized that the brown kids are way more protective of their women than the white guys. The white guys, they'll be like, okay, once she goes black, she'll never go back type. But the brown guys, they'll watch them. They'll give them looks. They'll look at you in your face, look at them in their face. They'll pre the whole scene. You know what I mean? They'll go talk to them after it. You know what I mean? Fam, you know, like me, men are like you. Nobody's trying to beg friend out here anyways. And in this economy, to be frankly honest, you're the last people we should be worrying about. The white people want you out of here worse than they want black people out of here at this point. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy. Who would have ever thought they wanted somebody out of this country more than black people? The brown people took that whole position right now. Every time I go on social media, they're complaining about brown people are taking all the jobs. They're taking up all the schools, all the space. Y'all are the new black people. And another thing, why are black people always a topic of discussion at the dinner table? Like, I don't get it. Are we like and imagine homeboys talking about, he's like, they're sitting around talking about black people, they don't like black people. Brother, your uncles don't like black people. Our own uncles don't like us. Our own uncles don't want to claim us. You think I have time to worry about what your uncle's doing and my uncle doesn't even want to claim me?
Now, let's take a closer look at how brown privilege must have been born.
At the heart of the brown privilege discourse lies a historical legacy shaped by colonialism, migration, and socio-economic stratification. Brown communities encompassing individuals of South Asian, Middle Eastern, Latino, and other ethnic backgrounds have traversed varied paths, imbued with nuanced experiences of advantage. Colonization often conferred upon certain brown populations a semblance of proximity to whiteness, affording them preferential treatment or opportunities for upward mobility compared to their black counterparts. Consequently, brown individuals may internalize a sense of superiority rooted in the societal positioning bestowed upon them by palm-colored structures. And that what basically means is that brown people have been positioned in a way by palm-colored people that advantages them more than black people, right? And because of this positioning, they are treated and regarded as more favorable, right? And maybe this might have created a sense in them of entitlement that grants them a sort of superiority where they begin to view themselves as more superior to black people. This usually happens when somebody like palm-coloredness views themselves as more privileged because of the color of their skin, hence sidelining those that have a different skin tone, especially a darker skin tone from them. This perceived superiority, however, is a precarious pedestal fraught with a peril of antagonizing palm-colored communities. And what that basically means is this superiority might become a sort of threat to palm-colored communities. The very privileges accorded to brown individuals by palm-colored counterparts serve as a catalyst for resentment and competition. White hegemony threatened by the encroachment of non-black communities into spheres traditionally dominated by whiteness perceives brown individuals as competitors vying for finite resources and opportunities. That basically means that now brown people and palm-colored people are fighting for the same opportunities, right? Hence positioning brown people as more maybe threatening than black people were. In the eyes of palm-colored communities, the ascent of brown individuals represents a challenge to their supremacy, thereby engendering a narrative of threat and hostility. Consequently, the narrative of brown privilege becomes entangled in a web of antagonistic relations wherein brown individuals navigate a precarious terrain of perceived superiority and systemic opposition. The sense of superiority ingrained through societal positioning, vice versa. Black communities may foster complacency or complicity in perpetuating systems of oppression, blinding brown individuals to their complicit role within broader structures of racial inequality. Simultaneously, the adversarial stance adopted by palm-colored communities towards brown individuals underscores the fragility of privilege and the fluidity of racial hierarchies, as the pursuit of dominance fosters discord and division among marginalized groups. And that what that basically means is that privilege can be granted to anybody depending on the dynamic of the society and depending on the positioning or the values and beliefs that that society upholds. Our societies uphold privilege based on whiteness or lighter skin tones, right? Hence, those that have a brighter skin tone or a whiter skin tone are regarded more special and favorable in the eyes of the communities. But societal values will always change because they are dynamic. In confronting the paradox of brown privilege, it becomes imperative to transcend the narrow narratives of competition and division and instead cultivate solidarity and coalition building among marginalized communities. Recognizing the intersections of oppression and privilege, brown individuals must acknowledge their role within broader systems of racial injustice while also mobilizing collective resistance against hegemonic forces that seek to pit marginalized groups against each other by dismantling the forced dichotomy between brown privilege and black oppression, and instead fostering solidarity grounded in a pursuit of collective liberation. Marginalized communities can forge a path towards a more equitable and just society. So basically, there's always an agenda to divide people, right? And palm color privilege has always been the most successful agenda that has been used in history ever since slavery was abolished. And now, brown people are being divided from black people because of the same agenda. And there you have it, a glimpse of how brown privilege must have started. One time they are being viewed as more favorable than black people, and now they're also seen as competition among palm color counterparts, because this is how whiteness is always, right? Even the Chinese also experienced a phenomenon such as this. At one time, people of Asian descent were more marginalized than they are right now. But now they have been granted palm color privilege to the point that they are asserting dominance to black communities because of that entitlement and privilege. And now them too are viewed as competitors to palm color people. Perhaps this is what is also happening to brown people as well. But you tell me what you think about today's discourse by leaving your thoughts in this comment section, and we'll be sure to go through it. Thank you for visiting and for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Signing off, take care, and remember, palm color privilege is no privilege at all. It's just a biased way of saying that you're better than somebody else based on your skin tone.